Yo, Midas, this is the first video on the Crypto 101 series. This is a beginner guide to all things crypto. The first video is on what is a centralized exchange. Well, the TLDR is that they are the main exchanges to buy crypto, featuring Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com, etc. But disclaimer, everything said in this video is only for educational purposes. Make sure to always do your own research. This is why you should listen to me, Midas, while I beat the S&P 500 by 103x in less than a year. If you want to check out the picks that beat the S&P 500, you can check them out on my YouTube description on my link tree. It'll show you the date of my calls, the tickers I called, where the call was posted, whether it was YouTube or TikTok, and my total P&L, which is over 4,000%. And this is why you should listen to me for crypto advice. I have been in the crypto space since 2020, been investing in Bitcoin since 20K and overcame the FTX crash. I made over 1.5K% gains by investing in the crypto markets. I do not invest in meme coins. I do not pump and dump coins. All of my crypto picks are based off of thorough research. I have tried meme coin trading and conclude that it can work, but the risk reward is just not worth it. You need to be chronically online 24/7. I invest primarily in altcoins. Altcoins are cryptos that have technical utility. I invest in altcoins like how I pick my stocks, early stage technology companies. And if you watch my stock videos, you will know I have a pretty good handle as to what stock would pump. And see my track record of following my crypto investing strategy, where I found Bitcoin at 20K, Ethereum at 1.1K, Solana at $10 during the FTX crash. But by following my crypto investing strategy, I find winners before they explode. If you want to take a look at all my crypto picks, check out my YouTube description on my link tree. But let's talk about what is a centralized exchange. Well, it's an exchange where you can buy crypto similar to a stock exchange except for crypto, but is ruled by a company. So these are licensed entity, which means you are forced to adjust its crypto activity to a specific country's demands and legislative rules. All the traders must also go through KYC verification, which basically means you need to share your personal data and send scans of their document. People have been saying, the whole point of crypto is about decentralization, and therefore these centralized exchanges are backed by companies and are not for the people. But like I mentioned, because they have to follow so many rules, they're a lot more safer to engage with rather than something on the internet. And some examples of centralized exchanges are Coinbase, Binance, and Crypto.com. But it allows you to connect with multiple cryptocurrencies. You can buy crypto from any blockchain like Ethereum, Sui, Solana, but it does have a limit. Only the main coins will be listed on a centralized exchange. It goes through a thorough research process to ensure it's not a rug pull or a scam. So therefore, it's a lot safer to engage with compared to a decentralized exchange where you're able to buy different blockchains, coins in for your own blockchain, but it's really rare. You usually can only buy, so let's say you're using a Solana decentralized exchange, you would only be able to buy most Solana tokens, except, maybe Uniswap, which is an Ethereum-based blockchain. You can buy Solana coins, Sui coins on that, but it's more established. So despite being a decentralized exchange, the ones you use will only have certain amounts of coins, so keep that in mind. Let's talk about the pros and cons of using a centralized exchange. So instead of a centralized exchange, you could invest in crypto using a decentralized exchange, like I mentioned. I'll be posting another video on this, but it's more or less not owned by a company. It's created by just a team of developers. But the pros of using a centralized exchange is that users get the opportunity to pay using fiat currencies. It's more legitimate and safe compared to exchanges not controlled by an entity, where hacks and government backing, and users are protected compared to a decentralized exchange that is unregulated and not controlled by a government or a company that can freeze the asset if they ever get hacked. There's also lots of liquidity on exchanges that make you guaranteed to get your trade, carried through. And all coins listed will be legitimate. There will be non-rug pulls and go through an extensive process before getting listed, so you know they're legit. But the cons are that many coins are not listed on these exchanges. Meme coins, especially will need to use a decentralized exchange to purchase. There's also a common occurrence in crypto where not your keys, not your coins. Holding crypto on these exchanges can risk you losing your coins if the company gets hacked, which is low risk, but no private keys for access. And if you forget your password, it can be a hassle to get your account back. I've heard many horror stories. People just got locked out of Coinbase because they forgot their password and therefore weren't able to log back in. And with KYC, account verification is mandatory. There's no decentralization, so you might have heard that, all these centralized exchanges, they track everything for tax purposes. And yes, they do that. So centralized exchanges, those are the pros and cons. But if you have any questions, comment it down below and I'll respond when I can. And if you want free real-time stock and crypto calls by yours truly, access to my full portfolio, become financially free, and learn the ways on how I beat the S&P 500 by 103x, and a community of hungry degens, join the waitlist for my exclusive Discord on my YouTube description on my link tree. But if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like for more. I appreciate the support of all my followers. And that's all I got for today. Today's video was on Crypto 101, what is a centralized exchange. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.